D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I finished. Okay, so here's what happened. I'm sorry this is late, this breakdown and stuff, and I'll try to make it short. But it's the holiday season and I have work and everything, and there's a blizzard going on outside. So I was able to watch this episode yesterday, Thursday, the day it came out, and then I wasn't able to do this breakdown because I had to go to work and early and everything. So yeah, and we have this huge snowstorm here in my state, so it's a lot of things combining to make this episode late, and it won't get very many views, but it's fine. But I like to cover this show because I do like this show overall. There's been a couple of things that I don't like the Sisterhood of Dada in season 3 really didn't work out for me, but if you liked it, cool, whatever. So this episode was good, but this is probably my least favorite episode of this season. I did feel like it was like filler episode, which is fine. I'm not complaining about it. I don't have bad things to say about the episode. I guess you could say saying it's a filler episode is maybe negative, but I did like it. Like, I just felt like it was a 40-minute episode that really wasn't needed, But hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Sometimes filler episodes are needed. But not with a 13, what is this, 13 episodes? In a 13 episode season, I'm like, do we really need filler episodes, you guys? But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so I liked this episode. It talked about, fathers and like their relation. It also dealt with death a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but it dealt with fathers and their relationship with daughters. And I liked that a lot because I'm a father and I have a daughter who I love very much, and I like our relationship, and I think that this show does that pretty good sometimes. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up the cast of this episode so I can, because I don't remember all of the names of the characters and stuff. Okay, so all right, why don't we go ahead and go through this episode? I'm just trying to check some stuff out because we didn't see the Doom Patrol in this episode. We saw Danny on the street, and we got to see Dorothy. She came back and everything. And it was mostly just this filler episode. Okay, I'm going to stop yapping and get into this breakdown because I feel like I'm a little like blah blah blah, and I don't want to waste your time with my nonsense when we can get to the actual episodes. But before I get started on that, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get on to this episode. So it starts off with these like comic book panels, right? And this is for a comic book called Space Case. And it's got this this guy, his name is like Dementus or something like that. I can't remember what his name was, like Treablazon or something like that. Anyways, and it's talking about a space case. There she is, and she's fighting this, and this guy who is her dad, but he's like purple and stuff. You find out how he got purple and stuff. And here she is like, whatever you're planning, I'll put a stop to it. So Dorothy is telling this story about how she's talking about this comic book because this is like her favorite comic book kind of thing. And this guy, he wants this necklace, this poo necklace that Niles Calder had, before, and that's what kept him alive, so he could stay alive for his daughter, Dorothy. So she talks about how she got this necklace, how the Dead Boy Detectives, which is no longer happening, that show, they helped her to find where the necklace was, and her and Candlemaker, they snuck into this little area and they stopped these dudes, and then they took the necklace, and then she brought her dad not back to life, but brought the spirit of her dad from the underworld so she could have a conversation with him and talk to him about it. And she's like, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. And they're all like, yay, good for you, and everything. This one right here is clapping weird, like, Like, that's so weird. Anyways, whatever. I know you're like, that's not weird. So then these drag queens, I don't remember what the one in red's name, and I don't remember the other one. I just want to say right now, excuse me, please. So this is Morris Wilson, the character, the one in purple. And then the other two, I have no idea. I don't remember what their names are. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care because like they're not very good actors, in my opinion, especially this one right here in this colorful outfit. So they get somebody like covers up their graffiti art with like something about like die or something like that. Hold on, let's get to it. Let's find it. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. See, it says F off and die. Oh, and then a bad word. Okay, and then the F word. That's not appropriate. So they're like, oh, who would do this? And I'm all like, so they're like, it doesn't matter. Let's clean it up, girls. So they get out the spray paint and they clean it up. Now, I just want to say right now, this right here, their little artwork, it's not that great. I'm just gonna be like, we have to be honest. I mean, it's not bad, but I mean, it's very basic. So I'm like, maybe you guys should maybe fix it up. But anyway, so they fix it up. And then they go in here, and then these are the guys making fun of them. And so this is Danny on the street, but he became an ambulance. They go in, and then they're all like, they're having a little party or whatever. And he's like, welcome back, ladies. And then she's sitting here and she's like, Danny, we are at capacity. And she's like, how you holding up? And he's like, I'm doing what I can. So then she's sitting here and she sees these dads with this daughter, and they give her a thing, an ice cream. And Danny's all like, hey, how you doing? And he gives her an ice cream, and she's like, I'm not a little girl anymore, Danny. I'm a grown adult, and I don't need a father. And then these little bugs show up, right? So then she's sitting here looking at her comic book, and Morris comes in and is talking to her drag queen name is Maura Lee Crump. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. We'll call her Maura, but her name before she became a drag queen. I don't know what's going on here. I don't understand that whole thing. Anyways, so this lady right here, the lady in purple, we're just gonna call her the lady in purple. They're sitting here talking, and I can't remember what she says, but they're just sitting here chit-chatting. And I can't remember what they say. So anyway, so then the bugs, they land on people, and then they like make their eyes red and they fall over, and then they end up becoming these like bots later on. So she's sitting here and she's like, is this your comic book you like? She's like, it's Space Case. It's my favorite comic book. It's my favorite story. And then she also, I can't remember. No, she talks about it later. Anyway, so they go out there and they're like, she smashes this bug, and then she's all like, lady with the big hair, how you doing? What's going on here? And she gets close, and she's turned into this little bot creature. She's like, oh no. And then they run into her trailer, close it off, and everybody surrounds it, and they're like pushing on it. And she's all like, what's going on? She's like, those are the bad guys, the henchmen of Immortus, the purple guy. That's what they turn into when he makes them his foot soldiers. So then she takes the Space Case girl and brings her to life. And so she comes in, she's like, hi, I'm Space Case, and I'm gonna rule this world, kind of thing. I personally didn't like this character. I thought it was very annoying, like just the way she talks and stuff, and just like, I don't know. I just didn't like it, but I'm not like one of those people that's all like this movie sucks because of it, kind of thing. But this actress, I do like this actress. She's been in some stuff that I think I like or whatnot. But yeah. Okay. So all right. So then she's all like, I'm gonna defeat Tartarus or whatever his name is, which he shows up. This is Tartarus, and he's trying to get into Danny on the street, but he can't because it's magic. So then she's, hungry. She's like, I've got a rumbly in my tummy. And I'm all like, I don't dislike this, but it's kind of annoying. So she gives her food, and she's like, this is delicious. I'm like, yeah, food is delicious. So then she realizes that they brought him to life, and she's like, that's her dad. And he used to be a great scientist. And then he, something happened. So then Danny, he corrupts Danny or whatever. And then all his little bots come out, and she's going to destroy the people. And they're like, no, these are our friends, kind of thing. So they end up leaving Danny on the street and go out. She tells the story of her dad, and he was a scientist, and then he got, changed into, Corruptus or whatever. And he's destroying plants or whatever. Her mom sacrificed herself to save her. So I love you, Kaise. And then she's, dies because it explodes or whatnot. Anyways. And so she's like, that's your dad. And she's like, you're a comic book character. So then they go out and they're talking to Deceptus. And he turns Danny into a little cube. And he's like, he's sitting here and he's all like, hold on, and he's all like, Casey, he's like, please. And he says, please. And she's all like, what? And then they leave. She's like, get Candlemaker. So Candlemaker comes out. She's like, I know you're mad at me, but please come out wherever you are, kind of thing. And he comes out and he fights all of them off. And then he turns him into a block also, like a little block. And they go in here and somebody painted a dick on their little what does that say? Bona Tavata or whatever. That's weird. Whatever that means. And they closed it up and everything. And then she talks about how she didn't go in. Oh, she tells them, she's like, I saw something in my father. He said, please. He's never said please before. I saw something, a twinkling in his eye or whatever. He's a changed freak. And they're like, no, he's not. And they're like, if you die here in the real world, you die forever. And she's like, so I couldn't kill him because if I killed him, then he would be gone forever. And I don't want him to be gone forever. He's my dad. And I remembered us, on a playground and he was pushing me on the swings kind of thing. So then this kid is doing whatever. And she's like, no, I've had enough of this nonsense. She's like, yo, little boy. And he's all like, hey, sorry, not all of us think that way. I was trying to clean it up. And she's like, how much paint you got? And so they paint all these memories on the wall. And he's like, you want your friends? I want the necklace. The little poop necklace that she has. It just looks like poop. It's gross. She's like, Dad, I know there's something in there. I know that you're in there. And this comes up because they painted this memory. And he's all like, oh, you thought this would work? It's not going to work. But is there something in him or whatnot? And he's like, give me the necklace or I'll blow her face off. She's like, fine, you can have this. She's like, I didn't, something about like, I want to bring my father back, but this is more important or some crap like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to remember. I should have rewatched it today, but I didn't. So he hands her back and gets her friends back and they leave. So then they're sitting there and they're like, she's all like, listen, she's like, oh, here, what did Danny say? I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. And she's like, it's okay, Danny. She's like, we need to move on, you guys. She's like, we can't stay here forever. We've created a safe space here in Danny, but ever since Danny became an ambulance, he's been doing triage. And it's basically they put a Band-Aid on a wound and it's not healing. So they're like, we need to create our safe spaces out in the real world, and then this character right here is like, whatever, now we're not ready to go. And they're like, take your time. So then Mara, whatever her name is, she starts singing. And I was like, oh, come on. I was like, I've had enough of the singing stuff on this show. Every time these drag queens show up, it's like, we got to put on a show. And I'm like, do you though? Do you really need to sing and dance and stuff? Really? Do you really need to? Is that a must? And then they all start singing. And then inside the camper, they're sitting here talking. And she talks about how, he's my dad kind of thing. I thought it would work. And she talks about how she needs to get out of here because she's not a little girl anymore and they need to go on an adventure. And so they decide that they are going to leave. And Danny's all like, you can go. I'll tell them you said goodbye. It's okay. I'll tell them you said goodbye. Yep. And then he creates a car for him. And she's like, thanks, Danny. And they get in the car and she's like, where are we going? And they're like, Cloverton or whatever, wherever the Doom Patrol live. And they see him leave, and she's all like whatever about it, but I'd have been pissed. I'm like, bitch, didn't even say goodbye. And then they leave, and then we go over, because they're gonna go find the guy, they're gonna go find the person that wrote the comic book to try to write a new story for her. And here's the artist or whatever. And then Dr. Janus shows up, and she hands him the thing, and she's like, Immortus will rise. And then Galapagos, whatever his name is, he shows up with the poop necklace. Look at that. This looks like poop. I think it's a finger, but it looks like a piece of poop. Like, ew, gross. He's all like, if you do this, will you make me normal and give me so I can get my daughter back? And he's like, oh, Immortus will rise. He's like, whatever. And then it's this picture, and then that's the end of the episode. So I'm sorry I zoomed past that pretty quick. I just feel like since it's been like a full 24 hours since the episode came out, like it's like, I should get on with it kind of thing. But like I said before, this episode wasn't bad. It was just, it was just filler for me personally, and which is fine. Again, it's fine, but I personally, I need the story to develop more, and personally, but it was good. I mean, like, it was good. I wasn't, at the end of the day, I wasn't pissed off that I watched it. I was like, no, it was a pretty good episode. It just wasn't my favorite. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry I rushed through it, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes if it's been too long and I sit here and gabba on, that it just takes up too much time, and you guys are not interested. And yeah. All right, you guys, tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? How do you feel about Dorothy, getting back into the mix? Are you excited for what's to come? Yeah, tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on time with my Doom Patrol breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. Bye.